It's difficult for anybody to do physically. It's easier for me now because I've been doing it for so long and because I do it regularly. It's easier for me to do it. This all his life and never done it before. I mean, I can walk away with it compared to people like that because I'm used to it.
Today is one of the most important days in Heidi Moforth's life.
Justin, are you woken up? I'm woken up. Don't forget all the things I told you.
No, I won't.
Don't do anything silly.
No,
Don't forget the star.
Yeah,
Have a good day then. Go on off you go, you'll be late.
Bye.
It's a day she's dreamed of since she was a small girl.
I'll take it away gently and confidently.
For Heidi, a little piece of railway history is about to be made. For me, well, this was the end of an extraordinary journey. The journey had started several weeks earlier at the other end of the country, and looking back, there's no doubt I was something of a steam virgin. You see, I'd always imagined hell to be a bit like this. Noise, heat, the smell of burning, and the steam. It gets everywhere, in your clothes, in your nose, in your hair, and some say, in your blood. Can I have a ticket to go down the line, please?
Right, sir. There we go.
That's fair. Thank you. If they invented steam engines now, the environmentalists would surely have had the beasts banned even before they'd left the drawing board. And would we really have been any the worse off? To be honest, I have absolutely no interest in steam trains whatsoever. Maybe that's because I can't even remember the last time I travelled on one. And after all, it's only an opportunity for fully grown men to behave like small boys and get a lot of oil under their fingernails and drink too much beer. Isn't it? For years, I'd been mystified by what exactly it is about these infernal machines that send so many enthusiasts into rapture. Now, at last, I had a chance to settle the matter, and rather to my surprise, I found I couldn't wait to get going. I planned my journey carefully, in the knowledge that the only thing I knew about steam was that I had everything to learn. I decided to start on one of England's most northerly steam lines, the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, where locos chug backwards and forwards all day along an 18-mile stretch of line across the moors. From here, I'd head down south, via many of the most celebrated preserved lines as I could. My goal, perhaps the most famous of them all, the Bluebell line in Sussex. I'd always thought that the world of steam was an exclusively male preserve. In this, I'm delighted to report, I could not have been more wrong.
Could I have your tickets, please, sir?
You're a woman.
Yes, sir, I am a woman. Well, I hope I'm a woman anyway.
Are there any women on the railway?
There are two of us on this railway on the operating side, and there's quite a few other private railways have women on as well.
You and who?
On this railway, it's Dorothy and me. She's my normal ticket inspector, and we nearly always work together.
So you're a team?
We're a team. We are the Grosmont A team.
The Grosmont A team?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Because we're the best team at Grosmont.
What do the men say about you?
They don't like it.
Why
They
not?
get a bit uppity, because they think they're far superior than we are.
So there's a little bit of rivalry there, isn't
There's
there?
a little bit of rivalry there, yes.
He said, oh, we'll use the F15, get the F15 on straight away. As soon as the freight's there, we can whip up to Gorton with
Oh,
a
no,
set.
he told me back road. Let me go find out.
Oh, hey, come on, we've got to get our facts right here. As far as I know, now I'm going up the hill.
Oh, right.
Change your plans again.
But we've been accepted by the men. Well, majority of the men anyway, and they welcome us.
She thrives on it, of course. It's become her life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always been interested in steam trains from being a child. My great-grandfather was an engine driver. My late husband worked for British Rail. And when he died, I became a volunteer on the NYMR.
What attracts you about it?
Steam engines. They are big, beautiful and powerful.
Are there women in other steam preservation societies?
Oh yes, there are. In fact, I think on one railway there's 1 or 2 women drivers.
Have you got any drivers here?
No, on the steam side, no, we haven't.
This is actually not coal burning, this is pure steam, isn't it?
This is pure steam here, what's coming out now. Yeah.
What does it do to you when you get the smell of this stuff on your skin?
Oh, I don't know, it's just... I suppose we would relive in history, I would think. You try to imagine how things used to be in the good old days of steam on BR.
Early in the morning for a question like that, isn't it?
No, not really. Not really. I'm quite alert. The beer's worn off now. From last night.
Did you have a good session last night?
Oh, yeah. I did have a good session last night. Must have had about 3.5, 4 pints, I think, last night.
So a good steam bath is a good way of kicking off the day, following morning.
Yeah.
Good for hangovers.
It is good for hangovers. I very rarely start a morning off on here with a hangover. Because it just goes. You know, the minute I walk out the station house door, it just clears completely. Because you've got to be quite active and, you know, have your wits about you.
Good.
So you can't afford to have a hangover. Both engines there.
What do your family make of your interest in steam?
They think I'm crackers. But they can understand it. They can understand it.
Perhaps you are.
I probably am. But then I don't care. I don't care at all. I just love it. It's my hobby. I like being out on the moors and meeting various people.
It's not just a hobby, though, is it?
It's like smoking. It's a drug. It gets to you and you can't leave go.
Can you have treatment for this?
A nice pint or two in the station tavern in an evening works wonders.
And the nice thing about being married to the railways is that you don't need anyone's permission for a night out with the boys.
Cheers.
All right.
Nectar.
You enjoyed that?
It is after a hard day's work,
yeah,
yes.
Certainly is.
We're doing one of them at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, actually.
Couldn't we all?
After Marjorie and the North York Moors, even I had to admit that BR is rather dull, although marginally less smelly. But then as I was sped from Yorkshire down towards Cheshire, I started to wonder whether in fact that wasn't just the point. As so often in life, we've become obsessed with getting there rather than savouring the sheer pleasure and sensation of travelling. My destination was the south, and by carefully timing the connections, I could change at Crewe just in time to join a vast army of men and women, many of them known as grisers or scopophiliacs, people with a tendency to gaze intently at loco and rolling stock for long periods. They gather with cameras and notebooks whenever and wherever one of the surviving steam legends puts in a public appearance. Excuse me, what time's the train due in?
It's due out at 11:10. The loco's just coming on now. It should be on time.
What's it called?
Princess Margaret Rose.
Why is it called that?
The locomotive is.
Why
The
is it
train
called
itself is called the Innis Mon, plus the Welsh name for Anglesey.
Why is the loco called
Well, they named the princesses after various members of the royal family when they built them in the 1930s.
How would you describe the attraction of these machines?
Well, it's a sort of elemental attraction, I think. Earth, fire, and water, the elements that have built the planet, and they're somehow encapsulated in a piece of machinery.
Does it do something for you?
Well, it's very thrilling in a sense of exhilarating through the speed and the noise that it makes, yes. Well, I wouldn't say there's anything kinky about it.
I wasn't
No,
suggesting
you weren't,
there
but,
was.
Each one has its own particular beat, has its own talk of hiss, and so on. They're individual.
Is this steam engine a male or a female?
Oh, well, invariably we call them females. Same as a ship.
Why?
Habit.
Temperamental.
You're dead right, sir.
Well done, that man. All right. Okay, well, here's to a good day out again, lads. Cheers. Yes.
Nobody admits it publicly, but the Greisers are looked down upon by the steam volunteers who actually work on the locos, who regard them as mere voyeurs, obsessed with numbers and detail, of observing steam rather than living it.
I've got to be very careful because of the wind resistance. Pretty awful against the microphone. However, at this speed, it shouldn't make much difference.
Hello, Basil. Is this seat free?
Can't you see I'm bloody well recording? What the hell do you want to do that? Interrupt me for? I'm trying to get the sound of the locomotive. Sit down and shut up. Oh, what do you want, anyhow?
I just wanted to ask if this seat was taken. Was this seat taken?
Sorry, I'm off the air.
Oh, right. So I can sit here, that's all right.
Yes, you can.
Good.
Anyhow, what do you want?
Nothing really. I wanted to ask you about you're actually recording the sounds of the journey on this.
Well, I am, by and large. I do it I take a tape recorder wherever I go. On my trains, on my paddle steamer, because I preserve other things. I to drive a tram for a short period, believe it or not. I'm too old now.
So your mind creates the pictures as though you were there?
Yes. You see, I'm half blind too. You'd hardly believe it. I can't see out of my right eye at all. But I love it. It keeps you alive.
Do you come on a lot of excursions like this?
I don't come on as many as my husband does, because I like the comfort of a Pullman, which you don't always get on the trains.
How many does your husband go?
Half a dozen a year, perhaps, as many as that. It varies. When he sees a trip that he really likes, he'll go on it and come back exhausted, of course, sitting all day, doing nothing. But, oh, it's exciting. Makes me feel young again.
70 miles west of Crewe, we hit Llandudno, and a chance for the Greisers to waste not a moment in lusting after every detail of the machinery.
There's the bogies. That's balanced in the middle. It's got a central trunnion. And the whole thing is like a separate chassis. You with me?
I found myself, though, drawn to those clearly elevated to a higher plane, the glitterati of the steam world, the men on the footplate.
I mean, it'll just pull anything.
It's going to orbit, will it?
Well, if you don't
Got what
control
they
it.
call 28,000 pound horsepower drawbar. It's called on the drawbar. 28,000 pound horsepower.
We'll test it
What
today.
that out.
What's it like when you've got your fingers on the controls?
Oh, it's lovely. It works for everything. It's like a woman, it just keeps it going nicely. You know, she behaves
true?
herself, you're all right.
Is it like a woman?
Yes,
He
we
says
call
so.
them she's. We don't call them he's. They're all, she's a good one, or she's a bad one. Keeping the power on and taking it easy with it. Will she do this or will she?
From Llandudno, it was just a short rail trip down to one of the legendary steam lines of Britain. The Ffestiniog may be a small railway, it's narrow gauge, but its attraction and power over the emotions of those who work on it couldn't be greater. The line was built in the 1830s to carry slate from the hills. And the journey through one of the most beautiful valleys in the Snowdonia National Park was simply one of the most enjoyable I've ever made. For the first time, I realised I wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere.
Would you like any refreshments at all?
What have you got?
Yes, spirits, cold drinks, hot drinks, teas, coffees.
What? Can I have a gin and tonic?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe it's the feeling of euphoria induced by that rattling little engine puffing down to the coast that has helped this line earn a reputation as the marriage bureau of the steam world. I'm told this is a very romantic line for people to work on, is it?
Yeah, a lot of people end up getting engaged and married. You know, they meet on the line when they come to volunteer night in the season.
Why is that, do you think?
I'm not sure. I think it's because they find they've got a lot in common because they both like trains and they enjoy going on the trains together and being down here together. So I think that's why they end up like they do.
Is it something to do with the air up here in the mountains?
I don't know. They say the water's better, but I'm not sure about the air.
The line ends at Porthmadog, from where the slate was shipped to roof buildings in every corner of the empire. Today it's as busy as ever it was, but now it's much more of a meeting place. For passengers, of course, but more importantly, for the volunteers who keep the line alive. This may look like a common or garden workshop to you and I, but beneath the oil and the grease, it's provided the launching pad for dozens and dozens of love affairs. People like Dave Charlton and Sarah Shrives.
Could you check that one for us, love?
I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at a large comprehensive school in Talyllyn Railway. Teach physics and science.
And I'm a chartered librarian. I work for a firm of consulting engineers.
When I'd finished university, I had a little bit of time to spare. Came up, started working on the Buffy cars. And after a few years, started guarding, and since then I've worked in many aspects, including carriage restoration, civil engineering. Of course, one of the things I have done here is meet Sarah.
I met the railway almost the same time as I met Dave, because my brother was here as a volunteer. In fact, Dave knew my brother before he knew me. And I got involved and decided to sort of follow him around for a little while, and I said, I like this sounds interesting. So I went to see the gentleman in charge and said, I'd like to train to be a guard, please. And he went, what? And I said, I want to train to be a guard, please. He said, are you serious? And I said, perfectly serious. So after a certain amount of discussion, he took me on as a trainee guard. And the following year, I was actually on the temporary staff.
You finished yet?
No, I'm on the last one now.
This railway can be blamed for a number of marriages, not just ours. And it's surprising. I don't think that the railway is at all romantic, other than its scenery. That the nitty-gritty side of it is anything but. It's very hard work in some aspects.
Because there is a much broader mix of the sexes on this line than you get on many other volunteer lines, you do tend to find that they meet socially. And in any situation where you have males and females meeting socially, you will get a proportion of people meeting their mates for life.
Like Eileen and Neil, and Stuart and Sarah, who are the line's newest married couple.
It sounds incredibly daft, but I was on a train on my day off and met up with this lunatic who'd been staying in the same hostel as I had, and sort of went from there.
We sort of hit it off, and after that sort of got to see each other a bit more often. She arranged her dates to fit in with mine, I arranged mine to fit in with hers, and it sort of followed on from there.
Was it love at first sight?
I require notice of that question, and I think he would as well.
It was sort of, well, how about it? Nothing romantic about it at all.
Did she hesitate?
No, she didn't.
One occasion of late, someone booked the entire observation car, and The purpose for that was to take his girlfriend up the line and proposed in the observation car, complete with flowers provided by the Buffy crew at spontaneous moments, rather well timetable spontaneous moments.
Now, you've got a hostel here, and it's unsegregated, which is quite unusual in the railway world, isn't it?
It's segregated, but it can be, depends on the hostel warden, depends on the people concerned, and really depends on who's staying in hostel. If the warden and the parties dictate, it can be strictly segregated. If the parties and the people staying don't want to be segregated, the hostel warden won't enforce it. We all know the risks of mixed areas, but sometimes we're so tired at the end of the day, all we want to do is fall into bed and sleep.
Like a great all-embracing family, the Ffestiniog gives succour to plenty of others apart from just those eager to find a mate.
A lot of people do not like lying about and doing nothing. Young people like to work. An awful lot of people like to come and do physical work after sitting in academic environments, sitting in libraries, studying. They want to come and bend their backs.
So, right, if you go that way and get your bone meal and your yogurt pots, please.
We are, in some occasions, a third generation of volunteers. People who volunteered in the 50s, their children have come and volunteered in the 70s and 80s. And now we're starting to see young children coming along and helping.
The bond between the sort of 10, 11, 12-year-olds is very high. They're very good with each other. They find like people, basically. I mean, some of the kids say, I haven't a lot of friends at home because they're not interested in the kind of things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in doing and finding out and, and they find like-minded youngsters.
It's not only the young for whom the railway has brought a new lease of life, even if it does just involve making tea.
I'm one of the old members, and I've no railway skills at all. But living on my own and knowing how to cater for myself, well, it's something I can do and something I enjoy doing.
Don't you have a family?
No. No, I'm a bachelor, and I am an only child as well. So, of course, I've no nieces or nephews, no grandchildren or anything. But look how much I save at birthdays and things like that.
Has the Ffestiniog become your family?
Oh, yes, definitely. I've always got somebody to talk to. I'm a real gas bag.
I'd like to have stayed, but the grey sea mist was already rolling in and they could hold the last train for me no longer. "20 miles south and just time to call into another famous little railway, the Talyllyn, the world's oldest preserved narrow gauge railway. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can I get a ticket to the Severn Valley from here? Is that possible?
Severn Valley is Kidderminster. Certainly. Town to Kidderminster.
Can I do that?
Yes.
For David Leach, director, line controller, signalman, guard and booking clerk, the railway's become a family too. He says it saved his sanity after the trauma of divorce.
And we're all welded together by the need to keep the trains running, but apart from that, we have the same joys and tribulations as any other family. We have deaths, births, marriages, not always in that order.
Where would you be without the railway?
Personally, I would be somewhat lost, and I think most people who work on the railway would have the same feeling. We've all been through personal problems of one sort or another. And we've all, if you like, come to Talyllyn to feed off the support that the other people who work on the railway give to me.
Halfway on my epic little journey of discovery south. Ahead, the Severn Valley Railway, the Didcot Steam Centre and the Great Bluebell Line. But already it was becoming clear that there's a lot more to steam railways than just having a nice day out.
Please visit our website for news about new productions that are on the way, and you can support my work on my Patreon page. Thank you.